Opioid use has reached epidemic proportions across the country, including right here in Baltimore. The DEA 360 Adult Opioid Summit happens tomorrow and will give the community a chance to talk about the crisis with law enforcement. Here to tell us more about that summit is DEA Special Agent Todd Edwards. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
I'm happy to have you here because this is really an important topic that is touching a lot of lives, especially right here in Maryland.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's a topic that we try and get and reach out to people because DEA has kind of always been back behind the scenes, going out and arresting people and
the enforcement part of it.
Exactly.
Yes.
But we're trying to get out and get with the community, say we have an epidemic here that we're trying to help people realize and see what we can do to stop it.
And you have the DEA 360 strategy, right?
Yes. Yes.
What is that exactly?
The 360 strategy is something that our headquarters has figured out. They go out to and they pick different cities every year to do a 1 to 2 year long initiative where you bring in members of the community, whether it's law enforcement, whether it's people from the medical community, whether it's faith-based or community people, and everyone get together, get out of their lanes. I know I hate using those terms, but to get out of those lanes and everyone talk honestly and figure out how can we as a community figure out this problem.
Right. Make it a collaborative effort.
Yes.
But you're right. They are in their own lanes. I mean, you've got enforcement. You have an angle that's taking it from a faith-based, I guess, angle, if that makes sense. And then also in the community. So to work together proactively.
Correct. Because a lot of times we talk past each other, and if you have someone from the medical community or someone from the faith-based or the community at large, they don't understand what law enforcement is trying to do, and we don't understand their issues.
Their perspective
Correct.
as well. Right. So this summit is a part of bridging that gap as well, right?
Yes. So we'll have people come in from around the community. Like I said, we're going to have people talk, some people from the medical community, like the medical examiner. We're going to have the U.S. Attorney Robert Hur there, Baltimore City State's Attorney Marilyn Mosby will give some opening statements, and other people from the state and from the local community to have panel discussions and really engage everyone to see what we can do.
And you wanted people in the community outside of elected officials and community organizers. You wanted the everyday mom and dad and brother and sister there as well, correct?
Yes. So we do have people that are already signed up. There's still a few spots. You can go to dea.gov to go and do that. And what we also have other things. We've done train the trainer to figure out, how can you help people in the community if they have addiction problems.
And we were talking about this before we started with our interview, but just in different communities. I live in Anne Arundel County. I work in Baltimore County. I see all these signs at firehouses and schools where you can see the community coming together to talk about this crisis.
Yes, and this, this epidemic, it's a terrible thing, but it's kind of broken the ice. That now that everyone is reaching across and talking to each other and kind of getting addiction out of the shadows.
Right, instead of fighting it by themselves.
Yes.
I think a lot of times that was the thing, is that it would happen to somebody and the family would just sort of handle it within their family.
They looked at it upon shame, and it's not, because it's something that everyone deals with. We in DEA, we have people who have had loved ones, and some themselves have had to fight addiction problems of their own. So we know, we're all we have families that we know that is a problem and it's an issue.
You want to help. And I know one of the major dangers right now is with fentanyl, right?
Yes, it's very dangerous, and we're trying to get the word out that it's not only fentanyl by itself, but now it's being mixed with other drugs. It's being mixed with heroin, cocaine, methamphetamine, which is seeing a rise across the country. So you're seeing an increased use of fentanyl and fentanyl-related overdoses and deaths, which we're trying to stop, because fentanyl by itself is it's a game changer for us because it's so deadly.
It is so deadly. And you said that it's being mixed with marijuana as well.
Correct.
And
with
counterfeit prescriptions.
Counterfeit medications. So if you go out on the street and buy Xanax or Oxycontin, it might not be that. It might be fentanyl.
It might be fentanyl. My goodness. All right. So go to dea.gov, get more information about this summit that is going to be happening tomorrow. You can still register. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Really appreciate it. And we'll be right back with more Midday Maryland right after this. Stay tuned.